Alright, this lesson is about the number E. I'll let you do your check-in on your own. Up here it says 3-5. That's a mistake. That should have said 3-4. Today's date is today. And we're also going to spend a lot of time talking about compound inequalities, or compound interest, which leads up to the letter E. So, first thing, compound interest formula. A equals P parenthesis 1 plus R over N to the NT. P is your principal, or your starting amount. R is your rate as a decimal. T is time. A is how much you end up with. N is the number of times it's compounded in a year. So if it's annually, the money that you make is put back in there, and then you start making interest on your interest. Semi-annually, the interest that you make is put in twice a year. So every 6 months, that interest is thrown in on your principal, and you start making interest on that. Quarterly would be 4, monthly is 12, and daily is 360. They assume each month has 30 days. 30 times 12 is 360. Okay? So, the next slide is actually going to make your life a lot easier. So, I went ahead and I put that formula in. So, let's say I've got $10,000 at 6%, and I'm going to put it in for 5 years. And let's say, first of all, if I do it annually, I'm going to make $13,382. If instead of annually, I went quarterly, I'm going to make $13,468. If I went from quarterly to monthly, I'm going to make $13,488. If I went from monthly to daily, $13,498. So you can use this slide to kind of do some of the math for you. If you want to do it with a calculator, that's 100% fine. Just make sure that you do the parenthesis first, your exponent, and then multiply by your principal. Alright, I actually just did those in the previous slide. You can go back and check your answers. All I did was had to change the N on each one of those and see how it changed. Alright, the number E is one that comes up quite a bit in nature, and it's kind of like how pi has a formula that you can use to get pi between the diameter of a circle. We can use this formula to kind of estimate what E is. If I keep on making that x bigger, you'll notice that it is approaching kind of what we call a limit. It's getting to be closer to 2.718. It starts kind of far away, starts getting closer, closer, closer. And that's what I want you to get here, is the number E is kind of like pi. It's an irrational number. And it is 2.718. And it's actually the base of the natural log, which we haven't really discussed yet, the natural log. That's going to be the next lesson. And it's used for the formula for continuous interest. So continuous compounding, that means the instantaneous moment that you make that money, it's thrown back into the principal, and you start earning interest right away. Instead of compounding it every so often, it's happening instantaneous. You want to use the formula P sub naught times E to the RT, where P sub naught is your starting amount, R is your rate, T is your time. if you see the word compounded continuously, this is the formula that you're going to use. If you see compounded annually, quarterly, monthly, you'll want to use the previous formula that I just gave you. So all you would have to do on this one is take 10,000 times E to the RT, so that's going to be 10,000 to the 0.3, or 10,000 times E to the 0.3. To get the E, a lot of times on your calculator, it's going to be second ln. Depending on your calculator, it might be a little bit different. And when I do that, I get 1.3498, multiply that by 10,000, and I'm going to make $13,498.59. And based on our previous answers, that does seem like a reasonable amount. All right. I will let you check out, do your reflection. Enjoy.